It's Monday, April 6th. The markets in New York are open, and the big number this morning, 10,030. So that's the number of cars that Tesla sold in the first quarter of 2015, and it shattered the company record. Sales up 55% from the same time last year ago. Elon Musk, the company trying to rev up production of the Model S with the sedan, still a very big hit with consumers. Hello, everyone. I'm Dan Kleffler in New York. So these Model S sales are charging Tesla higher. It's still getting ready to go for the release of its SUV Model X. That's going to have a 2016 debut. With more of the details on that, I want to bring in Scott Gam from the street. Scott, happy Monday morning to you.
Hey, Dan, good morning.
So listen, a big quarter for Tesla. How'd they pull it off?
Well, look, it was a big quarter. You know, sales rose 55% year over year. The company, look, they're becoming more mainstream. Prices are, becoming a little bit more stable in terms of the MSRPs for some of these cars, and some of their costs have gone down a little bit. Of course, shares for the stock are still a bit erratic, but again, this is a car company that's really in it for the long haul, and they're really trying to disrupt what we know as the current, car landscape. So it'll be certainly interesting to see how all this plays out.
So the company says it's going to sell 55,000 cars this year, up, in fact, 31,000 from last year. Is that going to be enough, though, for it to turn an actual profit?
Well, look, it's still in a big growth phase this company is in, and the cars are still rather expensive. So what Tesla's goal right now is going to be to try to bring some of those costs down. And we're already starting to see that happen. Lithium-ion batteries those prices are starting to fall, so that could cut costs for Tesla and allow them to maybe bring some of those MSRP prices back down to a level that's a bit more affordable. There also have been talks about the company actually building its own battery factory, so perhaps it could create batteries at a cheaper cost, and that could, of course, help bring prices for the cars down. But I think that's one of the main big hurdles for Tesla is, how do they become more of a mainstream car company like some of the other ones, and then that way they can really branch out and reach out to other customers who maybe wouldn't necessarily consider Tesla as a car on their list.
So how big of a deal is it then for their books? And when you've got another hurdle is the fact that you've got regulations like Virginia, in fact, one of the latest states that actually bans the company's direct-to-consumer sales model. How much of a hindrance is that for the company to grow?
Well, look, I think Elon Musk tweeted, he was sort of pretty lighthearted about it, the fact that West Virginia was the latest state to ban sales. So I'm not sure how worried he is about West Virginia specifically, but there are 4 other states that ban Tesla sales. We're talking Maryland, Texas, Virginia, Arizona. So, the whole notion here is that Tesla sells cars directly to consumers. They cut out the dealerships. And so the dealerships in some of these states have really been pushing hard to get Tesla out of there because they're concerned that this could set a new normal where auto manufacturers are selling cars directly to consumers. So right now, it's not that big of an issue for Tesla, but I think the dealerships are more worried about other automakers following this. And of course, West Virginia just passed this new law saying that, in essence, that a auto manufacturer can't act as a dealer.
So how much of the strategy for success is the company banking on the new Model X that's supposed to be coming out, and then obviously a cheaper base model? So we've talked about the fact that obviously these cars are not cheap, trying to make them a little more mainstream affordable.
Well, right, that's the goal. This Model X was first unveiled back in 2012, and here we are 3 years later, and it's still not out yet, although some reports suggest that the company might be able to start selling it towards the third quarter of 2015. Look, is this going to be the company, mainstream hit that I think Wall Street is hoping for? The jury is out. Certainly, some of the feedback that the company has been getting has been pretty positive on the car, but of course, we'll have to wait and see until it is released, if that even does happen in 2015. But again, I think, cars aren't the only thing on Elon Musk's radar, and, this is just one idea he has up his sleeve that, Wall Street is looking for.
Well, is Wall Street then looking to get back into the excitement? The stock's been down 25% the past 6 months there.
Right, it's also been down 14% since the start of the year. January was a pretty rough month for the stock. But of course, Elon Musk has quite a way with words, at least on Twitter. Last week, he shocked Wall Street when he tweeted that the company is unveiling a new product, not a car, on April 30th. He wouldn't give any more details, but the stock rose about $9 per share just from that tweet alone. So, again, I think Wall Street is very bullish on Elon Musk himself, and of course some of the other issues surrounding the company. I think they think will get worked out, but of course with Elon Musk at the controls, people seem pretty bullish.
All right, we'll have to wait and see. Scott Gam from the street. Scott, thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, Dan.
Keep up with the latest headlines right here on abcnews.com. Keep on watching The Big Number. I'm Dan Kleffler in New York.